Is baseball a pay-to-play sport? It certainly feels like it sometimes, as the team with the highest payrolls tend to win the World Series. But in this video, we're answering the question once and for all. I've assembled the most expensive roster in MLB history, equaling $1 billion. And if MLB is truly a rich man's league, the most expensive team should be the best team of all time. In this video, this absolute god squad not only has to win a World Series, but they also have to win 116 games, cementing themselves as the greatest team ever. In this challenge, we have to start the most expensive player at every single position, and I can't help but notice our lineup has a lot of guys from New York and California. This would be pretty easy if the only goal was to win a World Series, but winning 116 games is a different story, as the 2022 Dodgers got the closest with 111 wins, so this record's gonna be tough to beat. It is opening day against the Dodgers, and how fitting that the new highest paid player, Juan Soto, scores our first run. That was an RBI single, and now the second highest paid player, Ohtani, goes yard. We are looking dominant in our first game of the year, and hopefully that sets the tone for the rest of the season, as we have to win over 70% of our games. Also, as you would expect, this pitching staff is absolutely loaded, as our ace is none other than 99 overall Zack Wheeler, but we also have Jacob deGrom and Shohei Ohtani on the mound. With a team like this, I'm kinda surprised it's only 3-0, as we have not scored a single run since the first inning, but Aaron Judge hits one off the wall. Now his former teammate Juan Soto's trying to score him. I don't know why Judge turned back to second. That should have been an RBI, but here is Shohei Ohtani trying to score again, but this one just comes up short. Now Houston has a real chance to get back in the game, but Zack Wheeler really held it down, as we now give up 3 runs in the 8th inning. Now we need to lock in, because we haven't scored a run since the first inning, and that's at least a sac fly. Now we're just hoping that our bullpen doesn't blow another start, as we have Rafael Montero, and that is fortunately a win. It certainly was not pretty, but a win is still a win, as on this team of superstars, the player of the game was Zack Wheeler, who went for 7 innings with 12 strikeouts. We are 1-0, although I am hoping that our future wins are a little more decisive as we sweep the series. That does make me feel a lot better, because looking at our rankings, we are first in pretty much everything. Out of every team in the league, I did not expect the Marlins to be our first loss, and right now things are not looking good, as they're beating us in the 9th inning, but here is a 3-run nuke from Juan Soto. That is going to save our life, as both teams were undefeated going into this game, but the Mets get out alive. That was a 2-home-run day from Juan Soto, and with so many superstars on the squad, I'm curious which one of them is gonna win MVP. Early on, Soto is the clear favorite with a 500 batting average and 5 home runs, and he is the only reason we're still undefeated, as we're 6-0. Ever since opening day, our anti-Moneyball squad has been on fire, as they are 9-0, looking to make it 10-0, and Vlad Jr. walks it off against his former team. The Mets continue to win with another signature victory, so now I'm just gonna simulate until they lose their first game, as they're 15-0 and are showing no signs of slowing down. They're 4 wins away from a record 22 wins in a row, and the only team standing in their way are the Cardinals, who are not very good. They get to 21. One more victory can tie the record, and there it is. Thanks to Daddy's credit card, this team has a chance to make history, but we are tied up. We could be going to extras against Philadelphia, and this would be a terrible time for a Castellanos deep drive to left. We need a walk-off to secure our 23rd win in a row, but here comes a run, and the Phillies make this game so much more complicated. I am really starting to sweat, but right on cue, Cody Bellinger, say goodbye. That is the 23rd win in a row to start the season for our God Squad, which of course is an MLB record, as we've been so clutch all season long. I expected this team to be dominant, but we've seen some insane games up to this point, as we finally lose, making our record 24-1. Obviously, the initial challenge of the video was to win 116 games, but I'm curious how good this team can really be, as they have 3 MVP caliber players in Judge, Ohtani, and Juan Soto. Unsurprisingly, those are 3 of our 4 highest paid players, as Zack Wheeler has also been pitching at a Cy Young level. Just looking at these stats, it is really hard to argue that baseball's anything aside from a pay-to-play sport, as we're in first place in batting average, runs, and pretty much every single stat that you could imagine. At the rate we're going, this super team's gonna win 116 games before the month of September, although it seems we're bound to slump at some point. We are locked into a close game against the Dodgers, who even without Ohtani are still really good. And at least if it does stay 2-2, we are the home team, so we'd have a chance to walk it off. Soto cannot send this out. He doubles, doubles, so now it's up to Ohtani to score him, although this is a deep fly out to the track. I am holding my breath now that our bullpen's in the game, but they hold it down, giving us a chance to walk it off. Close games like this one make me very nervous for the playoffs, and we have a chance to win another close game as Ohtani keeps the rally going. That will give Mike Trout the chance to be a hero, and there is no way that is launched into left field. Trout is not having a good season, but he clutches up for the biggest moment of the year as we walk it off against the Dodgers. That is another signature victory for the Mets, and with a 50-4 record, I don't even know how many wins they're on pace for, but it's gotta be a crazy number. The second place Phillies are having a very good year, but they're still 15 games back, and that is all because we have the two MVP runner-ups. Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge are still putting up insane numbers, but I'm sure that Juan Soto is also still in the mix as we have 3 finalists for the Cy Young. It is hard to find numbers even remotely close to what we're putting up, but the most ridiculous thing about this season is there's plenty of room to get better as several players are on cold streaks. Guys like Francisco Lindor, Marcus Semien, and Mike Trout are having slow starts to the year, but hopefully as the season goes on, those numbers get a bit closer to where they're supposed to be. While our offense has been struggling though, our rotation is the best in baseball, which should not be a surprise since we're sweeping the Cy Young ranking. That is the biggest reason we're winning as many games as we are, as we win another series against LA and are already at 60 wins midway through June. This video is sponsored by Prize Picks, and right now they're offering a can't miss promotion. They will give you $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 in lineups if you use code Scrawny or click the link in my description. Prize Picks is a great place to use your ball knowledge to win cash while watching sports, and the app could not be easier to use. Just pick more or less on a few player stats, and you can win up to 2,000 times your cash on a single lineup. This app has been one of my favorite hobbies on the side of content creation, and this promotion means you'll be getting $50 in lineups back whether you win or lose. Again, use code Scrawny or click the link in my description to download now. We are looking to get our 69th win against Philadelphia as we're in a very close game, and we just tied the game after trailing by a run. It is the top of the 9th, so there's a good chance we're going back to extras, as Mike Trout, along with a lot of our offense, continues to struggle. Now the Phillies have a chance to walk it off as Trey Turner doubles, so the winning run is on second base, but we get out of it. That brings us back to extra innings, where we've had a lot of success this season, and one of the players who keeps showing up is Juan Soto. He just went deep to give us our first lead of the day, and we're in very good shape with him and Aaron Judge back on the same side. It's definitely still weird to see both of those guys in New York Mets jerseys, although they're playing very well for us. Despite their great play though, the real MVP has been Shohei Ohtani, who has more home runs and RBIs than Aaron Judge, and on top of that, he is 15-0 as a starting pitcher. Shohei on the Mets is putting together the best season of his entire career, and we are still at the start of July but have 78 wins. This lineup is absolutely loaded, and you would think we would have at least 5 All-Stars from it, but instead, Ohtani, Soto, and Judge are our only offensive representatives. However, pitching is a very different story, as Ohtani is also there, along with Wheeler and DeGrom, with Diaz making it as the closer. Calling that a historic first half would be an understatement, as we're simming the rest of the month, and we are 20 wins away from 116. However, with the way we're playing, this record should not take long to beat, as we're on another winning streak, and at the end of the month, we are sitting at exactly 116 wins. We're about to make history, so naturally, we have to jump into this game where Shohei Ohtani puts us on top. That is home run number 54 on the year, as he ties his career high with a month to go. We are an out away from number 117, and there it is. This is the best regular season team in history, so just as we all thought, baseball seems to be a pay-to-play game, and spending over $1 billion in a season will buy you a lot of home runs. However, there is still one more challenge in this video, and that is the World Series. The Mets finished with an impossible 137-25 record, but I'm not surprised as we had 3 finalists for the MVP, including Shohei Ohtani. This man finished with 65 home runs, which would be tied with Mark McGwire for 4th of all time, but on top of that, he also had an insane year on the mound. This man won the MVP and the Cy Young, putting together probably the best season of all time, as he won the hitting triple crown and was also the best pitcher in the league. That was an unforgettable regular season, but now it's time for the playoffs. I would be shocked if we lost this series, but we're off to a bad start, as Zach Wheeler gives up the first run of the game, but Ohtani comes right back, tying it up. That gets the momentum back on our our side as here's a home run. So we take the lead, but this game will not end. We have fallen behind once again, but this time we cannot score. So San Diego's on their way to securing an upset win. We give up another home run, so this game is all but over as we lose to the Padres in game 1. That is not the start I expected, and now I'm a little bit nervous as Ohtani gives up a run. Just like the 116-win Mariners, we are falling apart, and we need to figure it out because ownership is not paying $1 billion for us to lose in October. Fortunately, with the bases loaded, we get bailed out, and now they cannot turn 2. That at least gets us on the board, but now we have to stop San Diego, which apparently is impossible. We are going to lose our second game in a row, which has not happened pretty much the entire season. I cannot believe that this team's in danger of elimination, and it feels like I've been losing a lot more challenges lately. I don't know if the channel's cursed or what, but it seems no matter what I do, we find a way to blow it. We are down by 1 run in the 4th inning, and we are unable to score while the Padres keep doing whatever they want. We have to find a way to turn things around, but it is 4-1, and I guess make that 4-2. We are still down by 2 runs though, although Ohtani and Bregman deliver. We stay alive for another game, so now I'm taking the big risk of simming game 4, which we also win. It seems this offense woke up at just the right time as we're in a winner-takes-all game 5, coming off of 2 wins in a row. Fortunately, the Billionaires would survive, winning this game 10-4 and advancing to the next round. They're taking on a very familiar face in the Dodgers, and they start out winning game 1 and game 2. It seems this team is completely back as they also win game 4, so despite nearly choking in the first round, the Billionaires are 1 win away from the World Series. Just like the Padres though, the Dodgers are not making this easy, although we hit a 2-run homer, and without Shohei Ohtani on their side, I don't think Los Angeles has enough firepower. Diaz is trying to close it out, but there's a home run, so we are now going to extra innings, trying to win it, and JT Realmuto just hit his 3rd home run. That will win the Dodgers the NLCS, sending them to the World Series. And I'm very curious who we're going to be taking on in the World Series. It's the Guardians. Okay, we're about to find out if money can really buy a championship as we're taking on the Guardians, who have the 25th ranked payroll in the league. We're going to sim until we lose, winning the first 2 games and the 3rd one 11-0. We are looking for our last win of the video, and there it is, as we easily win the World Series. Just because I'm curious, comment down below what you think baseball needs to do better to improve its game, whether that's a salary cap or a salary floor, and as always, drop a like and subscribe.